Wallabies captain and head coach. Floor is yours.
Mike,
Go ahead.
what did you say at half time, Michael?
Oh, just normal tactical things. You know, I think you're probably asking that question because you're thinking that we weren't in front by enough. So part of what we're changing is we don't expect, like, I don't think you can go into a game and say, well, we should be in at half time by leading by so much, or what type of respect is that for the opposition, you know, like, yeah, well, there's some things we want to do better, but not around the scoreline. Like the scoreline will manage itself when we perform with the correct detail. And I think that in the first half we didn't have a lot of the detail in some of the areas we needed to. Like some of our more detail wasn't good. We had a specific way we wanted to play in this game, like a few things we wanted to do. And I think we off the back of a big week, it got in our heads a little bit, the heat and everything, and we started making a few skew-if decisions, and then we just sorted out our decision making and got back into the swing of it. But I expected nothing else except a tough battle. The USA are a very, very much improving side. They're competing with the teams like Samoa and who are up there and are winning test matches. You know, they're defeating Japan, so they're moving up through the rankings, and in their own country, a big game for them. They've had a good block of time together. I expected nothing more than a tough battle.
Mate, the tempo did lift after the break. You must admit that the forwards got some more involved. You weren't throwing it as wide as much.
There was the odd bad word said, yes, yeah. But it usually is in the dressing room. You know what I mean? Though we have a bit of fun at half time. But no, I don't think it was too bad. Like from a coaching point of view, I think you raise your, you get louder in the dressing room if you feel like the effort's not there. And I felt like the effort was there from our lads. I just think that we lost our way with some of our decision making, and then that rattled us a bit, and we sort of, because we started off quite well, and then we just couldn't get that back together. But didn't have a panic. That's the time where, if anything, I've got to stay quite lucid and say this is what we've got to do to improve. And I thought the lads improved their detail in the second half, and of course I think we've worked hard on our fitness too. So once we got over that initial heat bit and working that out, we started to get into a bit of rhythm.
Unscathed as well?
Yeah, everyone came out nice. So there's a few guys there that haven't played football for a long time. Rob Simmons was taking a lot of oxygen off everybody else on the field, I can tell you that now. He hasn't played football for a couple of months, and he's scrumming on the tight head side of the scrum, jumping and running the line out. It's fatiguing in the heat. And there's a few other guys that haven't played a lot of football over the Rugby Championship too. I think Ben McCallum's played a lot of footy, Wycliffe Palu. So just getting into that routine of starting and then getting into the flow maybe took them a little bit of time.
Michael, would you describe this as a really good test to play before you played Fiji, who are going to be a bit unorthodox and a little bit open and that sort of thing?
Perhaps in that analogy, like I don't know if I think it was a good match for us because the physicality the American team brings is really good. Would have been a good test for our forwards, and I think that they've had quite a good driving maul, and that's somewhere we want to test ourselves. You can see we worked a lot on the maul tonight, and when we got our detail right, we looked okay in that area, and we knew they had some big, hard runners, so it's good preparation for us. And I thought we fell off a few tackles in the first half. Second half, we were less hesitant. But I think it was a really good match to have in this block of 2 weeks while we're here for our preparation. And also, as expected, I thought there was a great atmosphere. I didn't realise there were so many Wallaby supporters over here because it was pretty cool how much there was such a great atmosphere in this stadium. And it was a real pleasure to play.
They had two big bangers in the centres too,
yeah.
Our centres got used to getting hit.
Yes, they got their fish, and there was a few where we some of our attack probably a little bit too flat, so we didn't have the options that we could play off, so they were able to read up through the line, and we took a few big hits, but that you certainly learn when you get one of those clobberers from one of the big lads. You know to hold your feet a little bit more and get some more depth. And I thought that Beale did that very well in the game as a whole. He held his depth and was able to play make and carry as a wide receiver, like sort of within the game when he played fullback at 5'8". I thought he did very well with that.
Had you always planned to have Wilkenia on so early?
Yeah. Hasn't played football for since the South Africa game. Needed plenty of time, and again, Nick didn't play in the last match before against New Zealand in Auckland, Nick Phibbs. So I wanted them to share the time pretty much. But I thought both of them did well. I think Nick played behind a pack that didn't deliver as good a ball in the first half. We had a lot of rucks where we struggled. We rucked past the ball and we just left the ball there and they were able to come through. In the second half, our forwards and all our players worked on their ruck work a lot better. It was a lot narrower and we were able to give better ball for Genia, so he profited from that, I suppose.
James, it's been a big week training, so what was it like out there?
It was definitely hot, very humid. Look, as Cheika said, you're going into the game, we've been training really, really hard for the last 2 months now, and it's just getting that consistency in our preparation. We knew it was going to be a tough game, so that first half really proved how the Eagles are playing at the moment. Very physical team, and really drew a few of the boys down, But I think we bounced back in the second half and proved that we are a fit team, and a lot of depth in the squad too. So the finishers who came on really helped.
Michael, your thoughts on Sean McMahon?
Yeah, he played well. He's still very fresh. I think his energy is outstanding that he brings to the game, and it's infectious to the other players. And if you tracked him on the try that Beale scored, the one where the Eagles were about to score and then it turned around the other end, I think he tracked all the way back with Joe Timani and then turned around and tracked all the way back forward, nearly 100 yards forward, and it got a pass in there somehow as well, and chased Beale all the way in. He was struggling to keep up with him, but that's the sign of the player, and that energy that he brings to the team and that raw edge that he has is the reason he got selected, and that's what he has to do when he's on the field. He knows he's been selected for that reason, so anytime he gets a chance to train or play, he wants to bring that. He certainly does.
Coach, a number of players in valuable minutes who maybe not in your usual first 15. Do you or your staff feel that anyone really put their foot forward or raise their hand to be on the match day sheet come World Cup, who maybe isn't usually in the first 15?
Well, I think we've mixed our starting team around, but we have got an idea of where we want to go around the match against Fiji in the first game of the World Cup, and we would have looked for a few players here to put their hand up and push for spots, because it's not a closed shop, obviously, in that regard. But I thought our good performers on the night, Pilota now was outstanding, I think, and really played well in the middle of the pack, along with James. They scrummed well and they worked hard. Curly Beale, I thought, was excellent. Bernard Foley, and especially his goal kicking. He's been working very, very hard. His goal kicking, his kicking for line as well, and penalties was very good, as well as some of his play in the general play. And I thought Ben McCallum was also a solid worker for us. He went between 6 and 8, finished off captaining the side as well. So that was good. And Kane Douglas got 80 minutes under his belt, which he really needed. So a few good opportunities there for everyone.
What are your biggest concerns going into the game with Fiji, and what do you think we'll take out of this match to translate into building the team to be a stronger group?
I think I'm not the type who gets too concerned, you know what I mean, about things before the game. Like, we just got to prepare consistently, and I think the first half we didn't have that consistency of how we've been playing and training, and we've got to just keep minimising the times that we don't deliver the same type of game. We've just got to keep cutting that down. So I just want to improve the team as a collective. Fiji are going to be a massive threat. And I'm not saying that with any type of lip service. That team, because I've coached in Europe, I've seen a lot of those players who are playing in Europe evolve over a long period of time. Some of them, half of them also playing in the Southern Hemisphere in Super Rugby. They've got experience now at the top level of rugby provincially, where they probably didn't have that before, and they're going to be a massive challenge. And there's one area we want to be solid on against that team, it's defence. We need to be rock solid there.
Hi, first, thanks for driving all the way up here to just play us. Second
We
thing.
didn't drive from Australia, you know. We just came from down, Indiana.
Well,
So.
well, from what we hear, you guys have that kind of magic. Anyway, I want to, sometimes when you guys have traveled, you've had some problems in the crowd, some boorish crowds. What do you think of the USA crowd that came out to watch the game today?
Well, like I said, I thought it was awesome. Like, you know, just the energy and the excitement that the people had for the game, you know, because you could see that, and I suppose where rugby is in the USA sport landscape, the people who are involved in it seem to really love it, like really love it. They're not just coming, oh, I'll take a look here. They love being involved. You could see the atmosphere in the crowd, made a lot of noise. And after the game, you know, getting the opportunity to walk around and talk to some of the people from over the fence there and how passionate they were about both teams. Like, there's a lot of USA people wearing Australian jerseys that really surprised me, you know what I mean? And they knew a lot about us, and I just think it's a massive, I really believe it's going to be a massive sport here. It's never going to be the biggest or anything like that, but it's going to attract more and more people because you can see the passion that it brings out in the people who are here already, and that's only going to catch fire more.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
What do you think about the facilities that you've been used to and your time like in Chicago and South Bend? What is the
Oh, well,
experience
so far we're headed back down to South Bend on Monday, but the facilities at Notre Dame have been unbelievable, you know, like for us it's so conducive to work at a high level, and you know, everything's there, the people have been brilliant. We've had no shortage of Starbucks cafes around for us to get to on campus, so we've been pretty much filling up with frappuccinos and everything like that. But it's been awesome, if that's the word to use. You know, we had the opportunity to go and sit with at the training of the football team before tonight's match. Hopefully we beat Texas. What was the score? We win?
17-0.
Yes, there you go, straight up.
Probably.
Notre Dame, but there was the Irish. Yeah, so it was a brilliant experience because you know the logistics underneath running that team was really really good for us to see, and then up here it's been outstanding. Like the way we've been treated, the Lot Hotel, this ground is unbelievable. It's just been a great experience and very conducive for us to try to work really well, like try and be our best every day.
Right, two more questions for James.
We're up 38-3 by the way, mate.
Who Notre Dame?
Yeah, two more for the captain. Yeah.
James, the scrummage seemed to go really, really well tonight.
Yeah, it did, mate. We've been working really, really hard on the scrummaging. We know going into the World Cup it's going to be a key focus for us as a Wallaby group and as a squad. And you know, I think the work that we've done not only in the last week or two, but throughout the Rugby Championship, through Mario and new scrum coach and the players in the squad have all bought into the philosophy we want to take into games. And I think tonight's a step forward, but we know in our heads that we're going to have to keep improving because look, it's going to be a major focus for us moving forward into the World Cup, and a scrum's very important, especially a World Cup tournament focus and in England.
And England and Wales are going to bring it to you as well.
Well, yeah, look, they've done it for years, and they would have identified our scrum as a place maybe they could target. But in saying that, we're more than happy to take them on there.
Back right. Sorry.
Coach, considering how physical that first half was and how humid it was outside, how impressed were you with your team's fitness in that second half?
Yeah, I think you always notice the fitness part with the quality of the game when that happens like that. And I think there was less drop ball probably in the second half than there was in the first. I think they probably enjoyed the fact that the sun went down, so the temperature came down a little bit, you know what I mean? Even the box we definitely did. But I think it's in the head, a lot of that stuff. All the teams are prepared very well. They're all fit enough to play 80 minutes of strong rugby, and it really gets in the head, you know what I mean? It's about your head and not letting those things distract you, you know? So I was impressed with the concentration from both teams in the second half.
Final question in the middle here for James.
Yes, where would you after playing tonight, where would you rate the U.S. Eagles team on the international arena?
Look, I was lucky enough to play them in the 2011 World Cup, and you know, we ended up getting away with a really good win that year. But you can definitely see the improvement. We were neck and neck that first half, right up till half time. Then, you know, we probably drew away in the second half. But over the 4 years, I can definitely tell there's been a major improvement in the Eagles team, and their depth. You know, the substitutions that came on really added to the game as well. So I think they're in a really strong position now to move forward as a team and as a country. And it'd be interesting to see how they go in the World Cup. And yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye on them.
Well, thanks very much, guys. There'll be mixed media after this, so appreciate it.